cancelled open day. We've had some tourists from overseas turning up. What's going on? Open day closed. Well, we're still here. Oh, really? Okay. Chatting to myself. All right, good dawning all. Let's take two. I don't know. Oh, look, it's 10 o'clock. We're actually right on time. What's going on? Well, yeah, just saying. If you missed that, good dawning everyone. Here on a very quiet, closed open day. Had some tourists turning up to close gates. So thank you for being here. Thank you everyone down at the forest. Let's see how today goes. Oh, 4. Nice. Hi, Chris. Oh, hi, Nate. You're first. Nate's is first. First comment, anyway. Hi, Greg. Greg says hello to everyone.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Chris. Hi, John.
What was that? All right, I'm going to grab my flag. Leave my hotspot here. Okay.
Flag.
Hi, Bianca.
The ode of remembrance. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end, against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Governor-General, this letter is a direct appeal from an ever-growing group of Australian people both here and at home. We call on you to action the public reveal of the unredacted findings in the police report from the Wood Royal Commission 1995 to 1997. The Wood Royal Commission, as catalogued with the Police Integrity Commission, resulted in a 90-year suppression order containing 28 names of alleged pedophiles of prominent stature, including judges, government officials, an ex-Prime Minister and others. That our Australian government has made no attempt to undo the 90-year suppression order for the supposed safety and well-being of the population is unacceptable. Revisited again in 2015 in the Senate Legal and Constitutional Affairs Legislation Committee meeting, the then Senator Bill Heffernan delivered the same request for the findings to be released to the public. As the Senator stated, it's not so much the secret that's the problem, it's when a group of people such as the 28 keep each other's secrets. Further into his appeal, he quoted the judge of the day. We decided not to revisit that issue because the public would lose confidence in the judiciary. Governor-General, how can you justify the 90-year suppression order of the police report from the Wood Royal Commission, given that the Australian taxpayers paid out roughly $64 million on the case? We have a right to full disclosure of the investigations. 28 years later, we have stood each week since August 30, 2021 at Government House in Queensland, and daily since the 7th of February 2022 here in the nation's capital. We are either real victims, family members of victims, or friends of victims of the appalling industry of child trafficking and pedophilia. It is up to the men and women of Australia to determine their level of confidence in the police, judiciary system, the media, yourself and Parliament on this matter. Yours sincerely, concerned men and women of Australia.
Samantha, today I'm going to read to you from the Hansard some further statements that Bill Heffernan said. This was at Senate debates on Wednesday the 24th of February 2016. Statements by Senators, Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse. Bill Heffernan. I will read the entire transcript. I rise today for Chapter 1 of what will take many hours. I recently have been given an order to produce documents to the McClellan Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse, to justify my making a case to the Royal Commission, which is doing excellent work and is discovering things on the public record about the treatment of and behaviour towards children in our institutions, which a lot of us have known about for 50 years. Most people have chosen to look the other way and ignore that we have the same problem, I think, in the institution of law as well as the institution of our churches, etc. I was given an order to produce, and I produced documents to justify my case to the McClellan Royal Commission. I have some of those documents here. The notations from the Royal Commissioner are on the documents. This one I'm holding up here, for instance, asks about boys picked up by Judge so-and-so. Were they Marcellan College students? This is a police intelligence document that says a certain judge used to pick up boys in the toilets opposite Marcellian College. That particular judge, by the way, gave a sentence of found guilty till the rising of the court to a person who was charged with serious sexual offences. He also allowed a father who was abusing his foster children and whom he found guilty in a closed court with names suppressed to go back to the family home. That is that particular judge. I want to make the case that there is clearly a need, and I intend to get the senior legal opinion, for the inclusion in the terms of reference for the Royal Commission under institution to include the institution of the law. We also need a federal judicial commission. In estimates the other day, the Attorney General said we do not need a federal judicial commission because there is no endemic corruption in the federal law system. I said to him, well, does that mean there is in New South Wales? Because New South Wales does have the very, very successful Judicial Commission of New South Wales, which does everything from educating judges on sentencing to being a speed camera in the system for this behaviour. Of course, I did not get a response to that. It's a different jurisdiction, etc., etc. Within the federal jurisdiction, I have pointed out the behaviour of one Dr. Richard Bell, who has given 2,000 opinions as an expert to the family court. The family court system in Australia is broken. There are a lot of things that go on in there, with partners dividing and accusations of sexual misbehaviour within the family, especially the fathers. This guy, who has given 2,000 opinions as an expert to the court, says in an interview with the ABC, which I would like to table, that he has no real expertise. In fact, he was instructed by a man, Dr. Richard Gardner, who has since suicided, by the way, that Dr. Richard Bell recommends as an opinion maker, and who said, the child has to be helped to appreciate that we have in our society an exaggeratedly punitive and moralistic attitude about adult child sexual encounters. I'll read that again. The child has to be helped to appreciate that we have in our society an exaggeratedly punitive and moralistic attitude about child-adult sexual encounters. This is the guy giving advice to Dr. Richard Bell. This Dr. Richard Bell insists on interviewing children in front of the offending fathers. How is that for intimidation? And so it goes on. So there is a serious problem in the family court. I now have on my desk in my office a pile which is nearly a foot thick of correspondence from parents, especially mothers, who have been mistreated as they see it in the family court. I just think the family court needs sorting out, but I do not have time to go through that particular detail. I have here also police documents that every Attorney General from Philip Ruddock till now has seen. The present Attorney General has not been delivered these documents. He saw some of them in a Senate hearing in Melbourne where I was not allowed to table them. This goes to why we need a federal judicial commission and why we should include the institution of the law in the terms of reference of the Royal Commission. This is a police document from the Child Protection Enforcement Agency. I will not name anyone. To the Commissioner of Police New South Wales with a date. The attached report relates to Justice. The name is deleted. Justice so-and-so. Who has emerged prominently during my investigation to date. Much of the information is hearsay and not capable of being sustained, but collectively it paints a disturbing picture of a senior member of the legal profession who may or may not have committed criminal offences, but who certainly, in my view, is open to compromise. This is the serious issue. It goes on. In the circumstances, I feel no alternative but to seek your permission to carry out a sustained surveillance operation against this target. I do not take this decision lightly in view of Justice so-and-so's high profile, but I feel that based on similar evidence, I would have little hesitation in carrying out such an operation against any other members of the public. For such reasons, I do not think that this particular person should be treated any differently, though I recognise the matter must be handled with acute sensitivity. I am of the view that such an investigation would serve a dual purpose. Primarily, it may provide evidence of criminal offences committed against young boys aged under 18. There is certainly strong suspicion of such activity. Secondly, it may yield evidence of inappropriate behaviour which, whether or not it constitutes a criminal offence, would leave the judge open to compromise and ought to be reported to the appropriate legal body. Very important words. It continues. Such consideration was singularly absent from the suspicion surrounding Justice, I won't name his name, which consequently did not show either the police or the legal profession in a good light. I believe this action is defensible on those grounds alone. Subject to your approval, I intend to take personal command of the operation under the auspices of Strike Force Cori. I also raised in estimates the other day another police document with a list of people. I'm not going to name anyone on this list. I note that Royal Commissioner Justice Wood said he does not recall this document at the time, even though it is his document, signed off by Gary Cook QC. It is addressed to the New South Wales Police Service, and it is a list of alleged pedophiles. A person known to the Commission compiled the list involving pedophilia. The list details his knowledge of activities. These are only allegations, and at the back there are surveillance issues. To give an idea of the intensity of this, the first person on the list is a former Prime Minister. The second person is a political party heavyweight. The next person is a very senior business person. The next person is a senior judge. The next person is a Supreme Court master. The next person is a judge who sadly has passed away. He should not have suicided. Everyone knew what he was up to. The next guy on the list is a local court magistrate. The next guy is a former president of the Law Society. The next one is a lawyer who passed away. The next one is a judge, the guy who used to go to Marcellian College. The next guy is a QC. The next guy is a barrister. 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 The next guy is a QC. The next guy is a barrister. The next guy is a QC. The next guy is a senior partner of a law firm. The next guy is a senior solicitor of a law firm. The next guy is a barrister's clerk, and so it goes on. These are police documents. The Wood Royal Commission in Volume 4 said they were disturbed at the way files were mismanaged and the contents were lost. Sadly, I have a lot of the contents from the lost files, and I have had them for some time. They were delivered to me on a bench in the... I think it is absolutely essential that we, the Australian people, give serious consideration to why we should have a judicial commission and why we should get the Royal Commission, which is doing a fantastic job, to include this in its terms of reference. I have talked about Costello's, the boy brothel, and Porky's. Some of the people who attended those are noted here. The police were on the payroll. They would ring up Costello's, the boy brothel, and say, "We're coming to raid you." They were being paid. I can name the coppers that were getting the money. The police are seriously compromised. For someone like me who has all this knowledge, even though you could get smashed for talking about it, it would be derogatory. I do not think it would be responsible to not try to do something about it. I have a police letter here saying that there was a guy who represented Philip Bell, a notorious pedophile, under a false name in court. I wrote to the police and said, "Why haven't you arrested him?" They said, "It's only evidence for the Royal Commission," from the Royal Commission. We would have to have another investigation. Evidence from the Royal Commission may not be admissible in a prosecution. We would have to have our own investigation. I am advised the prosecution always retains a discretionary power not to proceed. In other words, a cover-up. Who represented, and then unfortunately Senator Heffernan's time ran out, so we did not hear the rest of it. Interesting that at the beginning he said that he rose today for chapter 1 of what will take many hours. I've searched for chapter 2. As far as I can find, there isn't one. And it's interesting, so this was dated 24th of February 2016. Senator Heffernan commented at the end there, that he had all the documents. Then in May, the 9th of May 2016, Senator Heffernan retired. He didn't contest the next election. Interesting timing. What else did he have to tell us? Why was he prevented from telling us? Stinks a bit of corruption to me, Samantha. Is that disinformation? That's from the Hansard. Conspiracy theory? I think not. So, Samantha, what is it that you're going to do to help rid politics of corruption, of sexual abuse, be it within the walls of Parliament between adults or more horrifically involving children? What are you going to do, Samantha? You've been there, you know what it's like. You've seen the sleaze. You know what goes on. You said you would bring it to light. Did you not? What have you done to do that? Here is a golden opportunity for you, Samantha. Speak up. The whole of the country will listen to you. You are holding the highest office of this country. You speak, people will listen. The media will have to listen. And yet you won't. Are you covering somebody else's backside? Are you covering your own? That's the only conclusion we can come to. Because any decent person would speak up to protect the children. Any decent person who is aware of corruption would speak up to protect the Australian people. Are you a decent person, Samantha? We haven't seen it yet. wake up! Exposer 28.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita. Very powerful words of truth from Hansard and from your heart. Sentiments we all wholeheartedly agree with. So Samantha, I'm going to continue reading from what Albert's had to say, who you were on their board, chair of their board, I believe. Just to remind you of what you portray to the world and they believe you to be. We're not seeing it yet. The children are not seeing it yet. I'll just read on a bit more. So these are things that you have said when taking up office. We are a country with extraordinary advantages of geography and resources and the generous sharing of the oldest continuing culture in the world. A country that since the end of World War II, in less time than the average lifespan, has welcomed 7.5 million migrants including 950,000 refugees to our country. Again, what are you doing helping refugees? What are you doing to help the ones here who need your help? Ms. Mostyn also touched on her long history advocating for causes she believes in, including diversity and inclusion, gender parity, domestic violence. Is that a Freudian slip? Domestic violence, something that you advocate, causes you believe in. Well, domestic violence includes children being abused by pedophiles, by family. Look after those children if you're really about that. Sports and arts and culture, stating that challenges including violence against women and rising economic inequality are placing strains on Australians' confidence in their country. Well, how about violence against children? That's placing strains on the confidence we have in this country, especially in our government, especially in you. Despite all these challenges, you went on to say, I will always feel tremendous optimism for Australia, said Miss Mostyn, who was accompanied by her husband Simeon Beckett and their daughter Lottie at Parliament House. Speaking of her hopes for a future, speaking of her hopes for a future Australia, if I can capture in a few words my aspirations for our country, I believe these testing times call for an unstinting focus on kindness, on care and on respect, said Ms. Mostyn. Kindness and care. How about you care about the children? We haven't seen that yet. Care is that gentle thought and the outstretched hand that Australians have always been ready to share when great challenges present themselves. These are your words, Samantha. What are you doing to do that? To be that outstretched hand, ready when great challenges present themselves. What greater challenge is there? What greater honour would there be? It's not about honour. It's about doing what's right. Care, you went on to say, care is the quieter, better part of ourselves. And it is that sense of care that Simeon and I will seek to depict and amplify as we take on this role. Is it only a depiction? A picture? Or is it real? Do you really believe those words? Or just depict them and amplify that depiction? What are you doing? So during her 4 years as chair of the Albert Group Services Board, Miss Mostyn exemplified the profound care and commitment that she highlighted in her speech. Her thoughtful leadership was defined by an unwavering dedication to our organisation, from the nurturing of our history and legacy to deep care for our people, planet and a sustainable future for all. We are immensely proud to see Sam's compassion, optimism, fostering of unity and visionary approach now extended to serve our entire nation. This is what people you've worked for believe about you. Is it just that you just can't do what you think is right anymore? Are you that much controlled? I thought you believed in what... I don't even have words. I thought you believed in changing that, in women being able to stand up and speak. Anyone really, but you're particularly about women. What are you doing? You've wiped your social media. You've wiped out so much of who you are. Is that what it takes to take on that role? To not be yourself anymore? Is that who you are now? So that was said by Albert CEO David Albert upon the news of Miss Mostyn's new appointment. We've had the benefit of a leader who, as the Prime Minister said, is a true modern leader, a true pioneer. And when we think about pioneers, they are someone who is driven to leave the world a better and fairer place than they found it. And that's Sam. What are you doing, Samantha? What are you doing? Have you truly lost yourself? As Ms Mostyn steps into her new 5-year tenure as the King's representative in Australia, she today said she views her role as Governor-General as not simply to be an observer of Australian life, but to be a participant, to reflect the Australian character and its fundamental democratic spirit. Well, we spoke about that yesterday, didn't we? What are you doing about that? I will be an optimistic, modern and visible Governor-General. You were just down your road, Samantha. We haven't seen you yet. Yeah, I appreciate you being visible 5 months ago and speaking to me at Open House, Open Day. Well, here we are again. Open Day. Now closed. That's not very visible. Sorry, I just lost my spot. I will be an optimistic, modern and visible Governor-General, committed to the service and contribution that all Australians expect and deserve from the holder of this office. I will remain alive to changing expectations and needs whilst holding fast to the respect for their role and its place in our peaceful democracy. As long as I hold this post, I will do my utmost to reflect your thoughts and aspirations, she added. We can be optimistic, confident and proud as we build our extraordinary nation's future together. And Albert's wishes our new Governor-General every success. I hope you think about those words that you said, Samantha. I hope you hear them deeply and think strongly in yourself. What are you doing there? What truly is your role? Are you really making this a better country? Figure it out, seriously. Protect the children first. That's the most important thing. The children are our future. They are the innocents. They don't have the voice that you have. Highest office of this nation, speak up. The world will listen. Who do you want to be remembered for? Think about it, Samantha. Think about it.
It's plugged in, but it can turn around if anyone wants to.
Swing you around.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a job, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. Who kicks out the camera, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, but I'm breaking spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They try so hard, we try not laugh. They tow my car, the next day it's back in the same car park. These cops ain't smart, I'ma make a drop this charge. Son, you watch, we take it back to the start. No D's, no titles, no trespass. Now we charge you, tables are turned. We come with the proof for all the assaults, all the abuse. Nobody gonna can't cut you loose, knock knock. Yeah, who at the door? Makada, bring on the storm. Library to epic, thought we were gonna regroup and come back to the front lawn. Yeah, we're still here, still ain't got no fear. We will cry, still ain't shed no tear. The sense of we still here. Is that all you got? We take on you mob, we unite. You don't call the shots, sovereign's been here all along. And they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Return of the sovereign, but they never left. Yeah, they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Yeah, they're still here, the oldest civilization. It's been how many years? They're still here. Need your support for the new way this war is fought. Alawari for the law and in June income bore accords. Gotta cut out the cancer, yeah, that's what the plans are. Walk with the elders, they got the law, we got the numbers, that is the answer. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. Never got the jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. Who kicked us out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here, yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They see us come, we see you run. Now we are one, free our daughters, free our sons. Yeah, they're getting scared. Front line, you can bet I'm there. Even when we're gone, our spirit lives on. Yeah, we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a job, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. Who kicks out the camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here.
going to try to take off.
No, that was my foot on the thing. Had Annie join us, which is lovely. How are we going, folks? We haven't even had a chat yet. Got lots of bodies on here. If I can get my phone to work. No. Okay. Of course, my phone's not going to go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm going to move you into the shade so I can read the screen without dropping anything. There we go. Hi, Lulu. Pinster. Oh, Pinster. Good to see you back. Okay, I'm going to go right back to the beginning. Chris, Greg, John, Bianca, hello. Said hello to you all before. Nobby. Sue. See you soon, Sue. Be lovely. Daniel. PM.
All the people that, because they all had the.
I'll get a few links in there. Hey, Paul. Got a lot of chat on there, guys. Just scrolling through. I'm not actually reading any of it. Just seeing who's on there at the moment. Catherine, hey. Lulu. Lots of chat. So yeah, I found that very interesting that I couldn't find any more bits from Mr. Heffernan in the Hansard. He got nobbled. And of course, when Malcolm Roberts, I don't know if Malcolm Roberts himself spoke to him or somebody from his team spoke to him. Oh no, there's no evidence. Interesting. Hey, Pam. A few people showing up here looking for the open house, which is not on. Oops. Hope you're doing well, Pam. Hope everybody's doing well. You really do have a lot of chat on here today. Still going, still scrolling through. Hey, Ara and Pinstar. Must be getting near the end now. I'll just turn the camera away so we're not looking at those people. God, the chat's still going. I hope you had a good chat. So yeah, we've got the forest going this morning, so we'll be heading back there. Oh, I got to the bottom. Whoa. Now, what are you talking about? Representation. I was seeing a few of you on Wednesday for the High Court cases for Rod Cullerton and Dr. Beverly Peers. Cullerton's got a case. I think they're looking to find out where they're going to hear the cases, whether it's a High Court thing or if it goes back to the states. So a lot of Rod Cullerton's challenging the authority of
the states to close borders, and Dr. Piers, so that's the WA border, and Dr. Piers is challenging the Victorian ability of employers to enforce the jibby jabs on their employees. Nearly said the wrong thing then. Mount Stromlo last night. Was there? What was going on at Mount Stromlo? Cool. Thanks, PM. Why are you putting your number up there, Sue? Okay. I'm not going to read all the chat because there's a lot of it, so we'll be here forever. Anyway, I hope you're all doing great. These poor little bods come up to... All these bods come in to check out the house, and no. It is beautiful grounds, absolutely gorgeous, and the house is gorgeous. I haven't been in the house, but I had a brief stroll around the grounds a couple of years ago before being evicted. These checks and balances. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have quite a few people here during the week next week. And then Karen and Chrissy will be heading off up north soon, so down to bare bones here. Oh, Karen might be a bit longer now, she says. Yeah, I was just thinking that. It's like pointing away a bit. Oh, I might have been half off the screen. That's all right.
Sorry.
I was looking at it thinking, oh, it's pointing the wrong direction. Anyway, whatever.
That's okay. Well, we got the song. Thank you. All right, well, we better hightail it back to the forest. Yeah. Could use as evidence. Oh. Wow. Lots and lots and lots of things just happened then. Blackmail letter. Callers still forcing that past. Don't know. Oh, it would be great to see you all. Yeah. I reckon I'll see you then. I also have a letter that if I don't... Oh, really? That's ridiculous. Sorry, I don't know your actual name. Canberra Protest 2022. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day, and we'll head down to the forest. All right. Love and light to you all. Thank you. See you all. All right. Farewell.